Hello, welcome to this episode of Have You Seen Today is another film I saw far too young. This one is an old film, came out 10 or so years before I was even born. Maybe, 11 years before I was born. This film terrified everyone. Apparently, it's the scariest movie of all time. I don't think so. I think I saw it around 10 when I was 10, so this would be 94 sort of time. And it is the cult classic, The Exorcist. Why are we talking about The Exorcist? Well, there is a new Exorcist film coming out called The Exorcist Believer, which will be absolutely awful. Why do you say that? Well, I say that because the review embargo doesn't end until the day before the release. If you've ever played games or anything, you'll understand if there's an embargo the day before the release, it means it's going to be rubbish. And I believe this film will be rubbish. I hope it's not. I hope it's on par with the original Exorcist. Now, if you've not seen the original Exorcist, you must have seen the image, the iconic image. Everyone knows this. It's the Blu-ray. They haven't sent me the new one yet. There's a big delay. Luckily, I'm here in the UK, so I get the special steelbook one with the nice cover, not the horrible American one with the face. The Exorcist. There will be spoilers. I'm going to talk about the film. So, spoilers ahead, because that's what we do. It starts with a young girl who is just living her life.
What you do today? Stuff. What's that?
She's having some issues. She's hearing some things. She has an imaginary friend after playing with a Ouija board.
You really don't want me to play, huh?
No, I do. Captain Howdy said no.
Luckily, she's not here to go mental about the Ouija board. If you've ever used a Ouija board, you're crazy. Don't mess with spirits. Me, personally, I fully believe they're made by Hasbro, therefore they're just a toy, and it's all in your head. You never know. So, Captain Howdy,
Who's Captain Howdy?
her imaginary friend, decides to take over, and she starts doing some weird ass shit. Her mother, an actress who's part of a film that's going on at that time, has people over, and she's not feeling too good. She comes down, says some stuff, and does some things that is shocking.
You're gonna die up there.
So she gets taken away and prodded by doctors. They can't figure out what's wrong with her. All these things. And there's loads of other little scenes where she gets worse and worse and worse and worse until the iconic moment of her doing things with a crucifix. Not for children. Definitely not for 10-year-olds. I was very confused, didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh, she's stabbing herself. But then her head turned around and I was like, oh my days.
Do you know what she did?
Can your head actually do that? No, it can't. Don't try. You're not a chicken. Then, because I saw a version where I didn't know it was a director's cut, she walks down the stairs backwards, like in the crab walk thing, and makes some weird noise. That was a bit weird. The bit that actually made me jump the most would have been way further back in the film earlier. Her mother goes into the loft and there's a big... She's got a candle and the flame just goes... It's like a jump scare. It's a very early jump scare. But did you know The Exorcist 3 actually has one of the best jump scares ever? If you haven't seen it, check out The Exorcist 3's jump scare. Right, carry on. So she gets worse and worse and worse, does all these things, and her mother doesn't know what to do, and she ends up going to a family friend says, have you thought speaking to a priest? Priest comes over, Damien. A good name for a priest. It's not. It's just weird because, Damien is... What's his name's son, innit? The devil. That's his name, the devil's son. So he comes along, checks him out, and then goes back to the church people, and they're like, she's possessed. We need to do an exorcism. He hasn't done one in a while, and there's a lot of, not subliminal messages, because that's not a thing, but there's a lot of flashes of his face, devil's face, lots of different things going on that startle you. Not really jump scares, but it's more a psychological film, basically. And the bad thing's going to happen. Well, the bad thing's already happened. She's already possessed. But she isn't tied up in her bed because she starts hurting herself, and she can make things move now from without touching them, because demons, that's what they do. They can just move anything you want. Move it. It gets all more crazy. And then the church go, yeah, have an exorcism. We'll send someone down. This guy comes along. Can't remember his name. Father Carries? Maybe. Was that Damien? It doesn't matter. He takes no bullshit. He walks in. He's like, I don't care about what's going on. There's a demon up there. We're going to have to sort him or her out. Goes up there and basically just starts blessing. Holy water everywhere, all over her. He actually cuts Regan, the little girl who's possessed, cuts her. Bit of war. Crazy. The demon, Regan, the child, who was played by Linda Blair, and at such a young age did an absolutely amazing job, and was, I don't know, it was torture for her, because you can't do that to a child. I think it would have, if they filmed it now, it'd be like, no, that's a child. You are under arrest for child abuse. So I don't know what they're doing with the new one. CGI. Maybe. More than likely. This film, hardly any CGI. They actually had the room so cold that they could see their breath. Lowering the temperature of the actual set so that you could see their breath. Now that's directing. That's going above and beyond. You're freezing your actors to make them perform better, which is crazy. So they're carrying on. They're doing the devil and all this. The power of Christ will compel you and all that. Regan lifts himself up, hovering.
It's the power.
And then they take a little break. But one of the fathers goes out of the room, comes back to find the other one dead. Regan untied, sitting there laughing, giggling away like, oops, didn't mean to kill you. And then he just goes mad and starts beating this little child, punching her and telling the devil or the beast to take him. But he's still got a part of him when he jumps from her into him, still got a part of him, and then his part of him decides to jump out the window. He jumps out the window, falls down some long steps, and he dies. And Linda Blair, Regan, is okay-ish, kind of. Doesn't really know what's going on because, she was possessed. It was a troubling time for her, probably. Now, this was written by William Peter Blattley, who also passed away a few years back, who based it on a story about a boy. Apparently it happened to a boy in Washington, and he wrote this book about it, and then he ended up writing a screenplay and all that. It is a classic. If you've not seen The Exorcist, see it before you see the new one, because I know you're all going to go to the new one, because I know the new one's going to be like rated 15 here, or an R in America, and it's just going to be like, yeah, it's fine, it's to get the money. We got the money. They got shitloads with Halloween, so they're doing the same thing with The Exorcist. They're making 2 more sequels from this. Now, Halloween 1, or Halloween 2018, the first one, was okay, was a good thing, and the other 2 were nothing special. And I hope they don't do the same sort of thing they did with that, where it's just bring back old characters for money. Oh, you remember her? She was like the mum in the original film. Let's bring her back. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre did it, and that didn't end up going too well, did it? No. Have you seen The Exorcist? If you have, write in the comment section down below what your favourite scene is. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. It's out on 4K now, which is good. I'll leave links down below so you can purchase it and help the channel out, because that's always nice. The Exorcist is up there as one of my favourite horror films, because you can just watch it whenever. It doesn't have to be Halloween. It's just, I even think it might be Christmas in the film. No, I'm wrong. It goes for a long time. It's not a Christmas movie. I hope you enjoyed my little story of The Exorcist and The Exorcist Believer, and how we should all be worried about the new sequel, and how it could actually be really, really bad. But we'll wait and see, and we will do a review, so subscribe so you don't miss that. And until the next time she's off, I will see you later. Thank you for watching this episode. You can check out our other videos around my face. And don't forget to subscribe.